Greetings, welcome to the new moon forecast. 5 things that we need to know. Then I have a few maybe little exercises that you can do that are aligned with the energies of this new moon. I've got divination cards to get spontaneous messages. And long story short is that the new moon is the template for the entire 29-day cycle of the new moon. So if you understand the energies right at the new moon, it's very useful in planning your events and activities, as well as understanding what energies will affect you, how that will affect the world and everything. So for those of you that are live, thanks for hanging in there. I know I'm a couple of minutes late this evening. Got a lot of stuff on my notes to talk about, so we'll start out with a little bit of the astrology, the numerology, 5 things that we need to know, and then we have divination cards in the end. So hello, Angela, and Let's Spirit Guide. Hi, Laura, I almost forgot your name. Hello, Shannon. Just got an alert. The YouTube notifications doing their jobs then. Hello, Vicky. Mr. Floyd is in. Hi, Jared. Oh my God, I can't remember anybody's name anymore. Hi, Josh. Hello, Robin. It's been that kind of day. It's been very hot too. Hey, Robin, Suzette, Lily, anybody else? It's Snooze. All right. Hey, Katie. So you guys have been having a nice, good old conversation without me, I see. A little bit of water. And let me see what new comments are. Hello, Rosemary. Hello, Melissa. Welcome. And I see people are still coming on. Hello, Kathleen and Carrie. Welcome. Having a good day. Yeah, I've been working a lot, but I took about an hour to go to the creek. It reached 95, like here in the mountains. So I think it hit 100 in the valley today. Those of you that are in the Hudson Valley, if it hit 100, let me know. But it was close, very humid too. Oh, I got to go out, swim in the creek, and then came back to work. So that was my day basically. But all right. I think we're gonna get started. Before I do that, just to remind you that on Wednesday, Heather and I are going to be doing some new moon activations. I work with the master teacher. She has her healing guides that work with her, and we help to they work through me and connect with you to help align and raise your frequencies to these new energies that are going on. And we're likely going to do some, during the transmission, get together, become one heart, with many humans, one heart, send that out there to the collective, because there's a lot going on. There's not just what's going down in Iran, but there's wars and conflicts all over the planet. This is just where our attention is being drawn to right now, but it's going on all over. We'll have a couple things to say about that as I get into the forecast. So I see a new group of people just logged in. Hello, Serial Mommy. I like that handle. Welcome. So I see a few people came on. So let's get started. Being that it is hot, I've got a lot of water. So the new moon, it's on Wednesday. It's early Wednesday, 6:32 a.m. And pretty much the whole planet, if you go west of Hawaii, maybe say in Guam or some of the islands that are east of the international date line, it may be on the 24th. It's the 25th. And for the numerology, we always take Greenwich Mean Time, because that's just sort of like the world clock, as it were. So that's good to hear. That's I like that. Very good. New 95 degrees here in New Hampshire. Very good. So let's see how that all plays out with the ceasefire and everything, and that's an interesting development. So good. So that's at least Israel and Iran, right? So yeah, after the counter strikes, then there's a ceasefire. So we'll see how that goes. But let's dive into this right now, and so we have it's 6/25/2025. That is a universal 22-day in numerology. So the new moon happens on a master number 22 day. It's Uranus guided numerology. It's aligned with the number 4 in a way, but we don't reduce master numbers. 22 is the master builder, which is very interesting. But that Uranus energy can really like create like surprises, sudden changes. But it's very spiritual. Anyway, and then the new moon's in the sign Cancer at 4 degrees. So 4 is another Uranus. So the planet Uranus, as well as the moon, because the moon's in its rulership, it's in the sign Cancer. Well, it's in Gemini now, but it will be on the new moon. And then Jupiter conjuncts the sun and moon. A new moon is a sun-moon conjunction, although technically, what's the right word? In geometry, geometrically, the new moon, it's north of the moon, so it's actually because the nodes are in Virgo and Pisces. It's not really like technically, it's not geographically or geography. I'm getting the wrong word. Trigonometry. Anyway, it's a little bit north of the actual sun, but it's still astrologically in an alignment. All right. Sorry if I'm confusing you, but anyway, Jupiter conjuncts the sun and the moon. Jupiter lends a really nice, expansive spiritual energy to things, and also Jupiter is exalted through the sign Cancer, so it has a lot of weight also. The sun and moon are going to sextile Mars, which will be at about 5 degrees of Virgo, so that's a friendly aspect also. And then Pluto sextiles Saturn and Neptune conjunction, which sextiles Uranus on the other side, which means Uranus and Pluto are in a trine. Now, as far as Uranus goes, it's an angular aspect rather than an astrological one, and the reason that is because it's not in Gemini, it's not in the sextiling or trining signs. It's a 29 degrees Taurus, but the angle is what matters to me. And of course, in sidereal or Vedic astrology, it would be a natural trine and sextile. These are really good, friendly aspects. It shows that there's a process of ascension and growth. There's a lot of humanitarianism that shows up in that energy. So these are things to be aware of also. That it's good energy, basically. And yeah, I mean, there's a few challenging aspects also, but we get that. So 22 is the master number, master builder, Uranus guided, everything in place for millennial change now. And this new moon, it's a special new moon because it's going to come into the 16 month of July, and a lot of other aspects shows that a lot of things are tearing down, basically. So it's a master number, Uranus guided, everything in place for millennial changes. And Pluto and Uranus. So Pluto is in Uranus, and Pluto is in Aquarius, which is a Uranus ruled sign. So again, Uranus holds a lot of weight and a lot of power in the energies of this new moon. Uranus, again, it can be surprises and sudden changes, so be aware of surprises, but also it is about things like community and higher mind and higher values. Basically, you remember the age of Aquarius. That's what we're coming into now. So so Pluto gains a lot of strength, and Pluto is the transmuter. Basically, it's the evolution, and yeah, between Pluto and Uranus together, it can be revolutionary also. So see a lot of that. Strong. Okay, so Uranus rules Aquarius, gains strength. So strong Uranus. There's a strong Uranus and a very sensitive moon. So it's in Cancer, it's in its rulership. It's a water sign. It's very emotionally and energetically sensitive. So we have a strong Uranus and sensitive moon, and a quincunx, which is a minor aspect with Pluto, which adds to the Uranus energy. It adds to the charge, basically. So this combination of factors helps access inner suppressed feelings, especially childhood stuff and wounds, basically. This moon will give you a boost in things like shadow work and receiving counseling or doing shadow integration, things like that, uncovering child wounds and traumas. The universe is boosting that. It's backing you up. So therefore, the first thing of the 5 things to know about this new moon in Cancer is digging in the shadows, basically. And this is the strongest sun, right? We're right in the solstice in the northern hemisphere, opposite in the southern hemisphere. But if you're in the winter solstice down under, that's the time that the inner light shines brighter, because the outer light is weaker in the southern hemisphere. So we shine our inner light brighter. But either way, the solstices are about the sun. And right here in the northern hemisphere, here's the strongest sun. And what does the light do? If you shine the light on a shadow, it's no longer shadow anymore. So what do we do with shadow integration work? We shine the light of our awareness, the light of our heart on our shadow aspects, and it's no longer shadow. It gets integrated into the light. And that's what shadow integration work means. It's not like you're saying, bad shadow, go away. I hate my shadow. They're ruining my life. But rather you integrate, you understand what it is, what its message is, and then you transcend it, and it becomes a great power, basically, because our shadow aspects connect with our primitive survival instincts, amongst other things. They're the parts of ourselves that we may not be proud of, but that drives things in a positive way in our lives also. But shadow aspects can also be the suppressed traumas. That's why they're shadows. We don't see them anymore. And when we suppress traumas, it doesn't go anywhere, it just goes within. It's a vibration and energy that still vibrates, and it still vibrates through your life, and it still affects what you create and attract into your life. So you have a really golden opportunity, a solar opportunity at that, to shine the light of awareness onto your shadow aspects, integrate them into the light, and they won't mess with you and create negative patterns and self-sabotaging behavior anymore. They'll be a source of strength and power. So anyway, what else do we have in the good old notes? So strongest sun, greatest light to expose shadows. Also the Cancer moon. It's very emotional in nature. Pluto and Uranus energy, charge that energy. Pluto's of the underworld, so really deals with that shadowy aspect also. Now's the time to clear and purify, basically. The clearer your energy fields, the greater and more trouble-free your ascension is going to be. So the energies keep increasing. This is going to be yet another step in raising the frequencies as well as the velocity of energies that affect the planet Earth, and that affects our energetic fields, which affects our bodies. And if we're a clear vessel, then we ascend smoothly. If we have a lot of stuck shadows, it creates cogs in our energy field, blockages in our body. And then when these higher energies try to work through us and they get obstructed, that's the main reason why people have ascension symptoms. I mean, some of it is just the body getting used to new frequencies and energies, but some of it is the blocks and the cogs and everything. And it makes the ascension harder, and it's time to clear, basically. I think I've said that in enough ways. We get it, right? So basically, your energy feels like great. All right. So this is the beginning of the heart of the earth changes now. So that's the first thing to know, basically. Thank you. So shadow work is coming to grips with your darkness, admitting and acknowledging that you have darkness, balancing light and dark is the key. Thank you so much for that elaboration, Felicia. We definitely agree with that, or at least I do. I think most of us do. So the second thing to know about this, the energies of this new moon, is the tower will fall. And part of that's in the numerology, not necessarily the 22. The 22 is actually the Fool card, as well as key 0 or key 22. It could be either one in tarot. But 16 is the tower card. And when we get into the month of July, which is only a few days away, that's a numerological universal number 16 month. It also reduces to 7, which is Neptune move. But the number 16 is the tower in the tarot. In Chaldean numerology, its symbol is the shattered citadel. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that, because we talk about that a lot. So anyway, the tower falls. July is the number 16 month. Pluto and Uranus aspects really add energy to the old tower. So what is the tower falling? It's the old structures of our earth, of our society, that were built on the foundation of corruption, greed, power over others. They can't sustain in these higher frequencies. So they have to come down in order for us to build new and better towers in our lives. That could be on a personal level as well as on a society level, as well as on a collective level, basically. So everything connected with old earth, unsustainable, these new energies will begin to fall. They've been falling already, so it's just going to add steam to that process, basically. And that's in both the world at large as well as in your life as well. We'll see in July, some upticks in things like earthquakes, volcanoes, the earth responding to the energies and stuff like that. It's all in alignment with the astrology as well. Your solar cosmic activity and energies increase under these energies, and that's basically it. So we see these old towers, these old structures falling in our personal lives as well as society around us, and this kind of links in with the first thing to know, which is basically about shadow integration. Where so there may be friendships that end, your perspectives may change. There may be something that you're purging physically from your body, so it's a good time to do like fasting and cleansing also in this numerology. But anyway, so that's point number 2. Hello, Truth Wave. Victor, yes. And Michael, if I missed you earlier, hello. So being also with the tower energy, that's the structures of society. That can include the government. So government structure may go down. That can include the economy. So there may be lots of ups and downs with the with the world economy and things like that. So old structures tend to fall with that also. But anyway, the third thing to know is changes in the home. Now, the home could be the body, it could be where we live, it could be planet Earth. And why is that? Because Cancer is the sign of the home also. And this is a full moon, new moon, in Cancer. And such. So the sign Cancer draws attention to the home. Number 4, which is Uranus influence, can bring sudden change and surprises. So it's a 4 degrees. So we have that alignment again going on. So changes in our domestic affairs are likely to happen. Changes within our country, whatever country you're in, that would be domestic affairs also. Things like that. Changes in your personal home. Some people might be moving or changing their whole home around. Basically, it ramping up of battles can happen, but will lead to peace, both in the micro, which could be in your lives, as well as the macro, which could be the wars and struggles that are going on around us, basically. So that is number 3. So expect changes within the home. So the 4th thing to know about that is we are in a critical turning point now. And you may see that in your own lives as well as in the world around us. Uranus brings surprise again. Uranus is very active in this lunar cycle. Harmonize the harmonious outer aspects. So all the outer aspects are from Saturn on out in a harmonious, positive alignment with each other's trines, sextiles, or in Saturn and Neptune's case, conjunction. So harmonies of outer planets bring higher energies. Solar flares also help to activate. So there's a lot. The sun is very strong. There's a lot of solar light code energy that's being absorbed into the conscious fields and into our fields and the earth fields and stuff like that. So solar flare activity helps bring new frequencies, and that helps to bring changes. So that's part of the turning point energy also. The moon in its rulership acts powerfully on the subconscious, part of why it's great for shadow work also, basically. And it helps to activate higher energies, which helping resolve personal and inner conflicts. So this is going to be important turning points in a lot of people's lives, especially if you've been doing your spiritual work or you've been working through your issues or through relationship stuff or things of that nature. This is going to result in a very important turning point, basically. And the 5th thing, final, like all new moons, all new beginnings. Now the moon's in its rulership, so it has a little bit of an extra oomph to it. So new beginnings are even more powerful now. So this is a good time to think about or or get a plan together, like what new beginnings do you want to create, what changes do you want to begin. You can use prayer, you can work with candles, the law of attraction, especially around the new moon, the 3 days after that first 72-hour window. That's a good time to plant new seeds. And physically, a lot of people that know about gardening and farming plant seeds in the new moon for that reason, because it's a new cycle, new beginnings. So we're in the dark moon now. We're in the end of the old cycle. So between now and early Wednesday morning, which is basically tonight and tomorrow, this is a good time to just clear the old. You can do like a little bit of prayer work, some cleansing of your energetic fields, physical cleansing, however you do that. This is a good time to clear all the old and to get ready for a new lunar cycle that's going to be very powerful for you. So what else did we write? Especially good for initiating change, this particular new moon, with the Uranus and the other aspects that we talked about. New spiritual beginnings. There's a lot of spiritual energy with Uranus partly in charge, the moon, which is the subconscious and the intuition, obviously in charge because it's a lunar event. This is a great, speaking of new beginnings, a great time to start a new spiritual practice or to add on to a spiritual practice, because it's very much of a spiritual and an ascension energy and a vibe. So the new moon in its rulership strengthens the new beginning. So I said that before. So try a new practice, learn a new skill, act on your dreams, basically also. And remember, if you can align with spirit and source and really feel your intention in your heart, what you want to create in this new beginning, if it's already happened, and hold a vision, which doesn't have to be visualization. It can be an intuitive vision. When you're able to do that, that's when you start to set the wheels in motion energetically. So this is a good time to double down on those spiritual practices, act on those dreams, double down on law of attraction. And when you do that and you incorporate higher consciousness and you connect with source through opening your heart, which connects your heart and your brain, which connects you more with source, then the idea when you do law of attraction, be aware of the outcome. If this is already real, spirit is going to let you know what affirmative action to take on a worldly level and on an earthly level to fulfill your dreams, basically. So I find a lot, and action's important. You have to act to attract, but I find with law of attraction, a lot really place so much emphasis on the action part that it can be like a paradoxical intent in a way, meaning that if you're so focused on the action, it could be because deep down inside you're feeling more of a lack of what you want to create rather than the joy of attainment. And then your actions are really based more on fear and lack, not what you're connecting with spirit. So when you work with spirit that way, especially through the heart, open the heart, feel grateful and compassionate, then you're not, lack doesn't exist anymore, because when you're in your heart, you know that you're connected with everything. There's no lack. You are an abundant being in an abundant universe. And then you can draw upon that abundance and the abundance of spirit to get the affirmative action from spirit that's going to power your visualizations into reality. So hopefully that makes sense. Hello, Grace. We love your name. Hello, Hershey, the shadow reader. Very good. And you missed the part where you're talking a lot about shadow integration work, but you all can go back to the beginning when we're done if you wanted to miss that. So I want to talk a little bit about some spiritual practices that we can use, and not too surprising, shadow integration work is at the top of the list. Again, we explained why this new moon is very conducive to that work, and I have a whole playlist on the Medium channel on different ways of doing that, different exercises and stuff like that. And remember, it's an integration. It's not like trying to escape your shadows. Rather, it's an embracement and an integration so that you can become whole, healthy, happy, and complete, and be able to transcend any the negative patterns that subconscious shadows that you're unaware of have caused. Again, a shadow is only a shadow when it's hidden. When you shine the light of awareness in this beautiful solstice sun, then the shadow gets integrated into the light. And that's what that is. So that's number one. And since we were talking about heart brain coherence, and this wouldn't be the Medium channel if I didn't say that. This is like every new moon and full moon. This is a spiritual practice, but heart brain coherence is one, but a handful, if not a plethora of practices that you can use to increase the frequencies of the heart. There's many good yoga practices, breath techniques, or whatever. So when I do my heart brain coherence, I like to do some chakra work. I like to do some heart breathing. But then when I'm very relaxed and present, I'm not a name, I'm not a body, I'm energy and frequency. Then I get to that place in consciousness where it's not Adam anymore. It's like I'm spirit basically, and I'm really allowing spirit to experience life through me. So a little trick that I use is when I get to that place of presence, I really just imagine that the present moment is a conscious entity that's experiencing life through me basically. And when I do that, I'll tell you, it's like Joe Dispenza describes, it's like hitting the sweet spot of the present moment. It's kind of like I feel like I feel physically like my body's ascending. It's like going into that jet and doing 11 Gs. Like I really get that feeling. So when I feel really, really present, I can't help but to feel grateful because I know it's perfect in the present moment. If I'm there, it's perfect. No, my life may not be perfect. I may be having a bad day, or I may have an ache in my body, making it hard for me to do this. But that's just a personal story. The present moment is perfect. So once I get there and vibrate compassion and gratitude in my heart, I can consciously blend my heart and my brain. It's going to happen naturally. But the heart's the largest electromagnetic generator in the body. So the heart's the battery, and the brain's the transmitter receiver of the information, and directs the heart's energy. So you can look at it as again, as Dr. Joe Dispenza explains, that the heart's the magnet, and the brain's the electrical. So what does a magnet do? It drives electrical current. It steers electrical current. So if you can feel grateful in the heart, and you can apply this to the law of attraction, it's the new moon. So why not do this? What do you desire? What is your dream right now? Is it a beautiful house in the tropics? Is it the perfect soulmate? Is it perfect health? You can use intention to augment your natural healing abilities. I've healed things that doctors couldn't heal through intention. It's not, that's all. It's through connecting with spirit and source, through belief and intention. And it's happened on many different occasions. Drinking lots of water helps with that. But whatever it is, what you want to do is you want to have a clear image in your mind. And again, it doesn't have to be visual. Some people have aphantasia that cannot hold mental images. So what do you do? If I could visualize, this is what I would be seeing. But I also have other psychic senses, right? I can feel, I can smell, I can taste, I can hear. What you want to do is you want to be living in your mind that perfect life, that it's already manifested. If it's real in the now moment, you make it that real in your mind. That's how I healed from things that doctors couldn't heal. In my mind, I made it so real that I didn't have the ailment anymore. It was a terrible autoimmune condition that affected the skin primarily. It took 3 years, but I don't need steroids anymore, and I needed it for almost 6 years every day. So it really works. That's how powerful our minds are. But the heart's what's really powerful. And if you charge the mind with the heart, the mind becomes so much more powerful. So again, the heart's the battery. It's the magnet. The brain is the transmitter and receiver of that information. So you visualize something, that's the brain. You feel grateful, and as if it's real in the moment, grateful. That's the heart. Then your heart and your brain are coherent. And when the heart and the brain are coherent, you come back to your natural state of being. And what happens then? You become coherent with spirit also. So it's the divine triad: spirit, heart, brain. So practice these. I've got a playlist on that also. And hello, Lady Susanna, Lala Bailey, anybody that I missed earlier. Change the mind with the heart. Love it. Yeah, use the heart. Yeah, that's the heart is so powerful. And if you use the heart, that's how you change the mind, and that changes everything, obviously, right? So those are the main two. It's summertime. Get out into nature, feel the flow. We talk also about the heart's resonance, the magnetic resonance of the heart. I'm around computers a lot. I have shungite that helps. Other things can help with that also. That's magnetic. That's EMF also, but it's a negative field for our energetic system. So what should I do? Be afraid and turn off all my computers? No, I should develop tools. Well, what tool would be appropriate for that? Well, getting back to what's the largest electromagnetic generator in the body? That's the heart. There's been studies done on that, and if you ever get the Curlian or the digital aura photos, you'll see that your heart chakra is brighter and larger than the other ones. So that's the largest electromagnetic generator in the body. So I'm losing my train of thought, which means I need more water, which means it's hot and it's been a long day. So where was I? Well, we were talking about the beauty of heart brain coherence, and I may get back to that point in a second, but the heart's the largest electromagnetic generator in the body, and the point came back to my mind. So if all this negative EMF is electromagnetic and my heart's electromagnetic, well, guess what? If I increase the frequency of the heart, I'm increasing my my magnetic fields, and that's helping to shield the negative effects from all this technology. You can also go out into nature and experience the flows. Sometimes holding a tree, feel the flows of the trees, become one with that flow, and just ask nature to flow through you to clear all any negative electromagnetic frequencies. We don't have to be afraid of the technology. Just develop the tools and you'll be fine, basically. But a lot of people they stay inside, they work on computers, and they don't really do anything. Doing some good breath techniques, yoga, qigong, that will also strengthen your field as well. But that's the idea. In the digital world that's becoming more digital, have the tools to counteract the harmful effects and enhance the positiveness, right? So there's a few practices for you. Okay, wondering. Yeah, I haven't done one for a while, but I when I started to do that, it was red, then it turned orange, then yellow, then green. The last one I did, it was green, basically. So yeah, generally speaking, because we have emotional patterns that tend to carry in time until we do our shadow integration work and change them. And also we have a base spiritual energy, yeah, and how we integrate with the Schumann frequency, basically, which is a low frequency energy that binds everything, the earth, our hearts, everything in this earth field. And yeah, that was a really good question. So point being is that we also have a base frequency as well that can change. We also have a certain spiritual quality based on our karma and our mission that can affect the base aura colors also. But they will change, and I think what was happening is I was developing more of my healing abilities, and my auric fields kind of went into more of a green. I feel like spirit saying, if you did it now, it would be blue. I'd be like, all right. But I've always had a lot of orange, and I'm wearing orange right now. So I've always been kind of an orange, sort of a sacral kind of a guy, right? Second chakra guy. Yeah, so that was the question. We're gonna get to some divination cards in a second, and then Millie's saying, "Oh, I was saying Katie." Well, that makes sense. Millie's saying, "A really high heart or color change the shape. Children also change." Yeah, there you go. Now I'm wondering, as body organs etc. move, and wonder, yeah, that would affect also. And one of the things that stood out, and the person that read me was like, "You literally have a heart of gold," because my heart chakra was a bright gold, and that was kind of consistent. Like, yeah, we try, yeah, all right, yeah, absolutely, Felicia, absolutely, yeah. Pink means that you are healthy and happy. Pink in the aura is really great. That's very childlike energy, and pink is also the heart. So that exactly. Thanks for pointing it out. Pink, gold, and green can be heart chakra colors. So let's see. Let's do the Moonology cards, since it is a new moon. So we have Moonology with us. So I like to ask Spirit to guide me to pick the right card. I may get some more messages with that. So in any event. the one we got, and this says cardinal moon. Be bold and make the first move. So I think the cardinal moon is kind of like the first crescent, right? You know, sort of the beginning of the lunar cycle. So it'll be, 72 hours after the new moon. Be bold and make the first move. So I think that there's, for us, this is the time to act. So this is a good action lunar cycle according to what I pulled in this card, basically. And it's saying, if there's something going on in your life and you need to do something, make the first move, whether it's healing a relationship, whether it's doing your shadow integration work. Initiate things right now. So these next several days is a good time to initiate things. And that's the message that I get from that. And be bold. So be in your courage. When we're in our heart, we're more courageous also. Easily. So that's that message. I have the medicine cards to see what our totem animal is, or what that says for us. All right, so we got armadillo. So I think armadillo is about armor, right? But it's also about softness. I'm not familiar with this one, so I'm going to use my book. That is what key 28. Let's see. We're getting there. So armadillo boundaries, that makes a lot of sense. So I think this is a message because things are very, very tense. Thanks for sharing that there's a ceasefire, negotiations due to happen. I mean, it's so tense here that could change any time. But that said, good news there. But holding boundaries, holding space, that's good. All right. I think that we get the idea. So, and it's a good point because there's just a lot of stress, a lot of tension in the world. People are really, that aren't doing the spiritual world. They're not handling what's going on in the world or these energies, and boundaries get violated a lot. So you can call on the armadillo when you need a little bit of extra help to make your boundaries impenetrable by others. And it's a reminder to always hold your boundaries well in life, and especially if you do psychic work or mediumship. I'll give you a little pointer that it's all energy. So the spirit world responds to your energy, and basically what that means is the way that you hold your boundaries in the living is going to carry over into the spirit world. So if you're the person that's a walking doormat, when you start to connect with the spirits, they're going to see you as such, and they're going to be keeping you up all night to try to give messages to their loved ones. So on every level, hold your boundaries, basically, right? Yeah, they protect their bellies, exactly, because they have soft bellies. That's what I was saying before. There's a softness within. We're all very empathic, but we're tough at the same time, right? So that's armadillo medicine. And Laura said that's the card she pulled this morning. So that's a double message for you. Yeah. Very good. So moving right along, I see a few new people got on. So as we complete, if you're interested, go back to the beginning. You'll catch everything that you missed. So the Starseed Oracle. And while I'm on that note, Wednesday, 7 p.m., Heather and I are going to do some powerful transmissions to align you with these higher frequencies, and we'll do some prayer work to help, to help ease some of the struggles in the world, and for healing of the earth and for healing of humanity, basically. So this is the Starseed Oracle, one of my favorite cards. Hey, Chloe, welcome. Yeah, good point, Laura. Also about clear communication, creating a safe container where others know what to expect from you. Very, very good perspective. Yeah. All right. So, all right. So, anyhow, So the one that we got, this says the golden children. Oh, I love it. Inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. So you hold your boundaries, right, with the armadillo to protect that innocence, trust, that inner child. That's your spark, your spirit, your creativity, your love, your boundless love, basically. Sometimes you can get messages by what's going on here. It looks like there's a beautiful golden art or a well, it's not golden, it's white, but there's a beautiful archway, which looks like a portal into another dimension, basically. And and they're all kind of like, they look like they're in a state of reverence for this, almost like this just appeared. And I think some portals opening up in our lives, and it's opening up for humanity, that we can choose to walk in and step into a higher frequency, into the next level. I think that's showing up this summer, and I think as a result, especially in August, there's going to be a lot of new people awakening. Well, not new, but you know what I mean. A lot of another wave, even stronger than the other waves, which I think is going to really carry into 2026 and beyond. So yeah, very good. So let's get anything that I'm missing. It looks like a fiery sun. And they all have like white auras and like white energies around them. So it's very very spiritual. It's very much going through the portal and into higher consciousness and higher realities, higher or multi-dimensional reality or higher dimensional reality, basically. Who said they were armadillo? Hi, Estelle, welcome. Estelle Shameless. I love Armadillo. I'm from Armadillo. Nothing better than a silly little rhyme. I believe it. And this brings me to another point. Laugh out loud, everybody. It's the best medicine. And do what you can to be in laughter and raise your vibrations. Anything to raise your vibrations is good. Good music will do that also. And as we talk a lot about music around here. Last but not least, I have the Sacred Geometry deck for yeah, absolutely. Oh, we're sending you a lot of love, Mariah. So sorry. Oh yeah, open your heart and keep calling her, basically, and just hold her energy in your heart. Absolutely, because she hasn't really gone anywhere. She slipped into a different vibration, but she hasn't gone anywhere. And it's a frequency that we don't readily perceive unless we really still our physical senses, and then we expand our perceptibility, basically. Yeah, one time, it's about 3 months after one of the black cats died. I was just getting up I had to pee at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and in my half sleep, it's like this black cat just darted right in front of me. So much so, I felt like I tripped over the cat, but unfortunately, we didn't have a cat then. It was a spirit cat, but it just could let me know that the cat was still there. Hmm. Oh, we did miss you, Mary. Absolutely. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah. So here we go with the Sacred Geometry deck. I went right to the card. Alchemy. This is a repeat from last time. I'm gonna pull another one because I feel like I think Spirit drew me to that, but also Merkaba. These are the two. Merkaba activation, very powerful around this lunar cycle, around the new moon. So we did this one on Sunday, right? Alchemy and the frequency of alchemy. This is very, when Uranus and Pluto are involved, that's very alchemical, turning the lead in our lives into gold, basically. We do that through energy, intention, through love, through opening the portals of the heart, the great alchemist within, right? So the frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemists to perform the miracles of transmutation. And that's basically what the card looks like here. Uh, um, so you can kind of vibe on it and sort of absorb some of that sacred geometry. We're all alchemists, right? We're always changing vibration and energy through intention and through will and through love, right? So that's the essence of alchemy. And then obviously there's also chemical alchemy as well. But the Merkaba, this is really what gets our attention. This is the star double. The star double helix, is that the name of the shape? Merkaba by any other name, or Merkaba, some people pronounce it. It's basically three-sided pyramids, one pointing down, one pointing up, so sort of like a three-dimensional Star of David, I guess. And this is your light ascension vehicle, so you can visualize the Merkaba, feel it spinning, and that can aid you in things like remote viewing and astral travel. And we do that sometimes in our transmissions also. So what it says is the frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose. So there is that, basically. So you can kind of absorb that and absorb that Merkaba, and it can really aid in personal alchemy also. So basically, that's what I have for you guys. So just quickly, because I just posted this also, we're doing the Escape the Matrix retreat here in the Catskill Mountains, August the 1st through 3rd. So you're going to learn all the tools as well as get energetic upgrades via transmissions with the master teachers and healing to escape the matrix or Maya or the illusion. And it's through personal mastery that happens. So we're going to teach you a lot of good stuff and a lot of channeled information for that. And we're all going to ascend together. So it's going to be a great weekend. And again, on Wednesday, we'll do the transmissions with Heather to align you with these new moon energies so that you can connect with the Merkaba. If Spirit or the master teachers reminded me, maybe we'll do a Merkaba activation on Wednesday. So anyway, that's what I have. Seek out your soul record keeper. Yeah, you can do that also. That's one of the guides as well. So anyway, thank you everybody for being here. And we just you did a new video today. Gosh, I just did it today. I was really like some updates on what went on. It wasn't predictive, and I'm happy that they're moving towards a ceasefire. We'll see if that holds now. But it just kind of strengthened my conviction that things happen behind the scenes, and what we see is a show, basically. I mean, there's plenty of room for improv, but I think the major movement and players, a lot of it's predetermined. And anyway, this is why we want to be in our heart to transcend this matrix reality and become who we are, spirit, and then we can be in the physical matrix but not of the matrix. So there's a difference. And a little bit of a hint is the way to escape the matrix is to embrace the matrix, is to understand the matrix, to be one with it, to walk with it, to know all the rules about it. And that's how you'll eventually transcend, because we're here for a reason, and that's to learn and grow. And you can't do this by just trying to escape this reality. You have to embrace it and learn and grow through it, and then you'll escape it. And we're going to teach you tools to do that. At the retreat, I love you. Be well, everybody. And again, for those of you that jumped on late, when we end, if you're interested, you can go back to the beginning and catch all the 5 different things to know about this new moon in 4 degrees Cancer. Love you. See you at the next one.